We are live.
And in studio. How's it going, everybody?
In studio. First things first, a little unconventional episode. It's not just audio only. There is a video portion of it. It's just there's no actual video this episode. We decided to take the video portion off for the week in preps of season 3. Giving ourselves off from the editing and the crazy long editing, I should say.
Yeah, which is all truly the work of magic that Adam does throughout the night. So I think
Uh,
he definitely deserves a really good night's rest.
well, you're up late. We're up late talking pretty much. Getting through the night of getting ready for the episode to release. But we don't have video portion. It's just gonna be the audio file on a collection of photos or a collection of videos that you'll be able to watch on YouTube for anybody who prefers the YouTube video. But next week at the beginning of season 3, we will immediately be back. New intro. We'll be recording because we're seeing Guardians next week as well together. You're coming up here, so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Yep.
And yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Good and
How have
exciting
you been?
stuff.
I'd like to know.
Good. I mounted my TV earlier before recording this episode. So that's pretty exciting because I finally got to mount it. I hope by the time I get done recording, it's still mounted and it hasn't fallen off yet.
Can you mount my I was gonna say, can you mount my TV? I need someone to do that for me. I have my TV on uh this little bench.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like,
How big's
you're an
your TV?
adult. I think it's like 52,
Okay.
maybe. I could be wrong. I gotta measure it. I'm not too sure.
It'd be a 50 or a 55. There's no
Oh,
52s. So and this is completely off topic. But when it comes to TVs, it's really, really weird. There's no, so when it comes to TVs, it goes like 24, 32s, and it jumps up to like, I think 50s.
I
There's
think I
no,
was thinking about a 32, but it's definitely not a 32
there's,
because I've had a 32 before.
okay. I don't believe, so like when it comes to sizes of TVs, I don't think there's any in the 40s.
That's interesting.
If
Is
I,
that is that anyway?
Oh,
Off
sorry.
tangent.
There is 40s. And then it's 43s. There's nothing like 48, which is so random. Like TV, when you look at it, TV sizes, they run so weirdly.
Yeah.
It's so random. But that's completely off topic. Again, everybody, welcome back to the episode. Welcome back. More laid back, I guess you can say. No Mando talk because unfortunately the way is over. Um,
The
you
way
know,
the way is never over.
it's
Okay, the way is on break.
the way is on break.
The way is on break. The way is recovering from well
Rest.
needed rest for sure.
We got Ahsoka later this year.
Yeah,
So later this
we
year.
have some good stuff. We have a lot actually, we have a lot of things to look forward to this year right now. I think it's just a little intervention before the summer begins. You know, we got all these big blockbusters coming up. Obviously, Guardians next week. That's the start of all this rumbling fun. And then, we have the fall coming up with a couple more crazier events, you know, and we just keep getting content. Right now we're right now what's happening is CinemaCon. Today's the last day of CinemaCon happening.
Mm-hmm.
So other than that, we're just gonna keep on getting new stuff, really good stuff that's been released. We got a couple trailers to talk about. We're also talking about box office. We're giving your thoughts about the potential Fast 11 and
I'm
Fast
reading them
11.
right now.
Oh my God. Yeah. The
Well,
potential Fast 11 titles and
they're good.
possible, writers, um, and what we could expect for it. And finally, I'll be talking a little bit about Evil Dead
And obviously
Rise
CinemaCon.
and
Um,
CinemaCon.
and a fine, oh, and lastly, we've got to mention a long-awaited star, Hollywood star
Yeah.
to a
Yes.
well-beloved actress. So we're gonna
Yeah.
get into that.
Which is like really cool because we could I wonder if like that's like only you have I wonder how many people are gonna show up
Yeah,
to
I'm
to
sure
the
a lot.
display.
I'm sure
Yeah.
a lot of fans will.
A lot of people are
Um,
gonna be cosplaying that day for sure, so I'm pretty
Definitely a
excited to see how.
possibility. I wouldn't doubt it. Wouldn't doubt it. You want to jump right into this?
Absolutely. Let's go in with the box office, you guys.
So we got the box office numbers. Coming in at number 5, Dungeons and Dragons making $5.5 million. Grand total of 179 million. 83 of that being domestic and 95 of that being international. Did you see Dungeons and Dragons?
You know what? I thought I was going to, but I never got around the chance to see it.
It.
So I've yet to. However, I know I want to catch it before it goes on streaming services,
Mhm.
but I will have to wait for that maybe. I don't know yet.
Okay, I saw it. I'm not trying to be mean. Sleeper fest for me.
Oh yeah, you did see it. I remember you giving us
It
your
was a
thoughts on it.
snooze fest. I just couldn't get into it. Maybe because I don't know the game of Dungeons and Dragons, because I've never played it. Um, but I couldn't enjoy it. I could not enjoy it.
Hmm.
But
It's interesting because I've heard that it was, I mean, obviously the fans of the game or the intended
they loved it.
audience. Yeah, and people, and then they loved it, and then there's a portion of people that don't know what Dungeons and Dragons is, or at least in terms of like, they know what it is, but they never really dwelled into the concept of it or the games or even the board.
Hmm.
Uh, so I think it's interesting to try to get a whole new, I mean, it's a hit and miss when it comes to intended audiences. You're making a movie for people that could potentially just go watch it for the action pieces, for the action set pieces, for the comedy, for the actors itself, or for the people that actually enjoy the game and played it and want to see more of that adaptation on the big screen. Um,
Absolutely.
I want to see it because I heard really good things. But I'm not seeing it as a fan, so I hope it does apply for me in that sense, in that regard, once I do go see it. And I hope others have enjoyed it. Our opinion is only one of a million.
Oh, absolutely.
So
I'm
you
in
know,
the minority. I feel like a lot of people who saw it liked it, because even when I had told Rob I didn't like it, he was just like, "Yeah, like you're tripping." It was funny. It was entertaining, and I was just like, I was just like, yeah, there were some parts entertaining about it, but overall, like I was just like bored out of my mind watching it. I do feel bad because like obviously like people like Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez and the guy from Detective Pikachu, they all put their hard work into it, and not just them, but obviously the directors and the assistant directors and anybody in production. It's just like they all put their hard work into it. But if you enjoyed it, obviously, I am glad when people enjoy films that I don't, because you get to experience what I wanted to.
oh, that's really
You
nice.
know,
That's a really good way of putting it, honestly.
Venom.
That is a very mature way of putting it. Not being like, you're wrong, I'm right. Like it's just like, hey, my movie experience wasn't as probably as good as yours, or I didn't get the same feelings, or was it as captivated by this movie as you were. And unfortunately that's my case. So that's really good to say.
No,
It's a
yeah,
really
it's
good
just
way of
like
putting it.
I never want to go into a film hating it. I always want to enjoy it, but
Yeah, because
you
first
know,
of all, like you're in a sense kind of paying for it anyway. You're sitting there,
yeah,
you're giving it time,
I'm giving two
whether
hours of
you
my life that
have
I am not getting back.
exactly. And I mean, either that is paid off well or not, it's interesting.
No,
But
absolutely.
what's the number four?
Coming in at number 4 is John Wick Chapter 4, making $5.8 million, bringing the grand total up to 363 million. 170 of that being domestic, and now 193 of it being international. Um, Hats off. All of these are under 10 up until 1 and 2. Um, so it's really, the box office is really interesting because 5 through 3 are very, very close. Less than a million separate all of them.
Yeah,
And then 2 is sitting in by itself, and then 1 is also sitting by itself, very comfortably. Both 1 and 2 are sitting at their spots comfortably. Um,
interesting.
but coming in at number 3 is The Covenant, which is the new war film. That is currently it made $6.4 million. and it currently sits at $7.8 million, 7.7 being domestically, and 131 thousand, excuse me, not million, being international. Makes sense. It's an American propaganda film. It's only gonna do good in the States. People probably aren't gonna see it.
I haven't even heard of it.
It's people were like well, a lot of like
The Covenant sounds like a movie that's like it's supposed to be a horror movie.
you know exactly what I thought. That's exactly what I thought.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
This is the
yelled
Guy
that too
Ritchie
loud.
film.
It's the Guy
Yeah.
Ritchie film. It's the film based on a true story
Yeah.
about Sergeant John Kinley.
Yeah.
It's how he saves a med,
Yeah.
the guy. Yeah.
I do
It's so funny. You know what I always notice whenever it comes to American like movies like this? I mean, so far it has an 8.1 rating on IMDb. Popularity has been skyrocketing for it. It has 34 user reviews with 32 critic reviews, landing a 63 Metascore. So it's not a bad movie, I guess. From what the looks of it, it looks pretty cool. It's honestly kind of along Jake Gyllenhaal's type of films he likes to make. He's always been involved with either like the police force or the army or anything like PI detective. Like he's good in those films. But what I always love is that they always put a trucker hat and they make him grow a beard, and that's the
you know
American way.
I was gonna say like what Jake Gyllenhaal are you watching? But then when I really think about it, yeah,
And the watch,
you're
and then
absolutely right.
you're watching Prisoners,
Yeah.
and then his previous films. I mean, come on, I can list them.
No,
But
yeah, no. I was like literally I was just like, what other ones has he done? But then like I thought about it, I was just like, yeah, he's done a lot of
yeah,
American propaganda style films.
yeah. I mean, that's just it's all right.
Yeah.
He's
Nothing
usually
wrong with
always a
that.
detective. Sometimes, or he's either a boxer or
Yeah.
he's. But don't get me wrong, he's always fantastic in everything. Like,
It's crazy how he's not won an Oscar yet. Um
I mean,
soon hopefully. Soon hopefully. Uh
it's never off. It's just like I think he's one of those he's already established. He's an established actor.
yeah.
And anything you'll know, anything he's on, people will go see.
No,
He's
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, the Covenant comes in at $6.4 million, bringing it up to seven, I believe 7.7. I've already closed out the tab. I do apologize. But I mean, I do want to see it. I do have interest in it, but realistically, this film is not going to make much. And I do feel bad. Like I feel bad saying that because it's just like at the end of the day, it's an American propaganda film. Majority of film money comes from international markets. So yeah, it's just unfortunate, but hey,
I wonder if it's like going to make any money internationally just because of the fact that it is based on a true story.
well, it made 131,000
On
for a film. That's not a lot. That's in its first week, but still,
okay.
um,
Okay.
yeah,
I was gonna say like from like how long has it been out, but okay, if it's only been a week, then okay.
yeah, yeah. Coming in at number two, and sitting comfortably at number two is Evil Dead Rise at 24.5 million. In its first week, it has made $46 million. 28 of that being domestic and 17 of that being international. You've seen it twice.
I have seen it twice, and the first time I saw it, I saw opening night, which was a very packed theater. I saw it in Dolby, which I do recommend for you guys to go and check out. It's a much more comfortable experience in it. Not comfortable,
Hmm.
more frightening experience in 4D.
Yeah.
And then the second time I did see it, but I saw it on a Monday. I saw it actually on a when did I see it? When did I see it? I saw Monday. I did, yeah, and it was still a packed theater. Somehow managed to get comfortable seats. Luckily, again, saw it in Dolby. On rewatch, it's still as frightening as the first time watching it. I feel like that is a factor that might be preventing it from getting much money into it.
Mm-hmm.
Because these are fans that are hardcore, Evil Dead fans, either Sam Raimi fans or, just in general, like Ash vs. Evil fans, people from the 2013 remake fans, um, or just horror in general. But I
There's definitely a
remember
market
being
for it.
in the line being in line to get a drink, and there was a guy behind me, and he was like just talking about passionately about this movie and this franchise and how much he's loved it, and that he feels like it's one of the better remakes, established franchises out there that has continued to push the boundaries for the OG. And the one thing I will quote him saying is, "This is my Avengers." And I just started laughing. And I looked over at him and I smiled, and he's like, "I'm serious," but in the sense where he was just kind of like saying in the terms of like an event,
Yeah.
because obviously no such thing as comparable, but in the terms of like metaphorically speaking, and yeah, this is for people. So I'm glad it's made that much money. I hope it keeps pushing on. There are some incredible performances in this movie, specifically for Alyssa Sutherland. I think she does a fantastic job in this film because she definitely creeped me out twice. So that's all I would say
I
about. Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
frightening.
see it.
Yeah,
But you're gonna give us your thoughts a little later in the
I
episode.
will. Yeah, I will.
Um,
I'll break it down. Break it
yeah,
down for y'all. For those
definitely.
who
Yeah.
who won't see it, who else who refuse to see it or wait to see in streaming service. I'm waiting for you to see it,
I
Adam.
will not be seeing it.
I know you'll come
I
around.
will. No,
I know
no,
you'll come
I
around. Even with the
won't.
lights on, it's okay. I
No,
feel like you
I
put on your
won't.
projector, you're gonna watch
No,
it, and you're gonna text me about the whole movie. You're gonna be like, "I hate this. I
no,
hate this.
I
I
will
hate this."
not be seeing it.
I feel like you're gonna see this movie.
The trailer alone was enough to be like, yeah, nope, that is not for me. Um, but I
Yeah,
mean, I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad people are enjoying it because it's getting a lot of praise. One for the gore, and two for the fact that I feel like people feel those who are Evil Dead fans feel like it's a proper installment of the film, of the franchise, which is always a good thing. Is that you respect the what has come before you to continue on the legacy.
absolutely,
But
absolutely. What's sitting at
uh,
number one, which I feel I already know what it might be,
it's Super
and I
Mario
guess it has
Bros.
to. Oh
Yeah,
God,
it's Super Mario Bros.
it's funny. I've yet to see it, and I will probably catch a showing sometime this week. It is my Friday officially as
Oh,
you're listening to
nice,
this. So
nice.
I think I might go watch it finally. But I've heard a lot of positive feedback. I mean, when it first released, because it's been what, 3 weeks since it's released now?
I think it's on its third week now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I keep hearing about it. So maybe I'll just have to watch it.
Y-
I'm biased. I honestly, I'm just gonna go in with like, I honestly just want to wait until
Yeah.
streaming services. Not gonna lie, like I'll wait
Um.
until it comes home.
I mean, I don't blame you for doing that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like it's not targeted for you. It's targeted for kids. But there's enough nostalgia in the film to enjoy it for adults. But Super Mario Bros. Came in at $59.9 million. So again, sitting comfortably at number one. That brings its grand total up to close to $900 million. It's currently
Wow.
sitting at 892 million. Domestically, it's 144 million, or excuse me, 444 million. International being 448 million. So
Honestly,
pretty,
props to Illumination because they're killing it.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I feel like we knew this was gonna make money. I didn't think it'd make this much, in all honesty.
Yeah,
Um,
especially on its third week. Is it third week?
I think third week. I think third
Yeah.
week.
Damn.
Well,
I
yeah,
was gonna
April
say
6th. April. I think
sequel
April 6th
therapy.
it came out.
Sequel territory, right?
I think it hit sequel territory a long time ago. I think it hit sequel territory after its opening weekend. Um, you
I think I
know,
saw it as when they released the music video for Peaches. I was
okay.
like, oh wow, they're really pushing for it.
Oh yeah, but let me tell you about that scene. That scene is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. If you're interested to see where it lies between Sonic 1 and 2, um the first Sonic made $319 million, and then the second Sonic made 405 million. So this is exceeding it by a lot of money. Um in terms of video game adaptations. So it's sitting comfortably, and I'm pretty sure, it's just like I believe they are trying to build a Super Smash Bros.
I hope so. If
That'd be
that's
so
the
awesome.
case, I'm definitely watching this because I love to see it. I love to see it go that way. because that would be really, 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 really cool. Where it's also like merges the worlds of like you know how in Sonic has like real like real people.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, not animation.
Well, if I'm not gonna say anything, go see Super Mario Bros.
Okay.
Go see
All
Super
right.
Mario Bros. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the box office. And moving on to topic number one, we got a couple. Like we said, we have the Flash trailer. We got the Hollywood star announcement. A little bit of Fast and the Furious. Actually, it's Fast then the Star, but new Flash trailer. New Flash trailer came out for during CinemaCon, and we now know a lot of influencers who are there. A lot of sorry, I should say, movie movie critics, movie YouTubers, just people on social media who talk about nothing but film. They've seen it. They've praised it. A lot of early showings or early screenings of The Flash saying this is one of the best ever. John Campia, who actually saw it, said it's not one of the best ever, but he really, really enjoys the film, and it's going to be a film that we kind of do remember for a while. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, but
I like John Campia's thoughts. I like him a
I
lot.
I do too. So I feel like a lot of the things him and I feel like we critique films in the same way. I feel like him and I are very similar, and I think like when I can't think of a thought, he is able to put it into words for
Nice.
me.
Yeah, it's
You
me
know,
with Chris Stuckman. Every time I see him, sometimes I do disagree with Chris Stuckman, but when I
same
do
yeah,
watch
same here
him,
with me at Campia.
I'm like, yeah, I could have worded it way better. Or sometimes he says things, I'm like, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Which I love and I appreciate because it makes me feel like, okay, we both see these movies analytically. We both see it with reason. We both also enjoy it in our own ways. And it's nice to connect with other people like that. But if he's saying that it's not the greatest, but it will be remembered, I mean, that's borderline. So that's pretty cool, at least for a DCEU movie, right?
he said it was really, really good. Like, or it's a great film. It's just not one of the greatest comic book films you're ever gonna see. Which it's kind of hard to do when you think of the films that you kind of have to go up against. A film like Zack Snyder's Justice League or Infinity War, Endgame, Captain America, Winter Soldier. It's just like even the original Watchmen, the Dark Knight films, the original Spider-Man, the original X-Men. It's a hard thing to put in and say, hey, this is one of the greatest films ever, greatest comic book films ever. That's a hard feat to do, especially one being the state of the DCEU. I feel like that's just it's tough to really critique it in that sense, if that makes sense. Um,
Oh
but
yeah.
but the trailer came out. It was very, very storyline based. We see a lot more of them, the team chemistry around one another, which is nice to see. I think you said it before we started recording, how it made you feel.
Yeah, it made me feel as I'm watching this, it just made me feel like it was the DCU's Far From Home.
Hmm.
But instead of it being like a multiverse, it's like obviously it's a multiverse, but it's just more of like a team up
Hmm.
because we're getting two versions of Barry and we're getting two versions of Batman, and then we're getting a different version of Superman, which is Supergirl, which is
Which,
Kara.
and then remember too, we would have also had Henry
Who's
Cavill's
we could have yeah,
Superman.
potentially had Henry Cavill had they not just completely
Well, they cut his scenes. He was originally in it.
yeah.
So that's a bummer. But I can 100% get why you see it as this is like their No Way Home. Mainly because it's just like there's so many multiversal characters. We see that in obviously No Way Home. I think like another thing too. I can't help but say it's so good to see Batman. Michael Keaton's Batman back, mainly because I never saw it on the big screen.
Yeah.
Obviously we weren't even born when it came out, but I'm glad that we're gonna be able to experience it and maybe send
Well,
them.
I mean I never did with Michael Keaton, but I always did watch them.
Yeah, but
I
we didn't
think
get
they're
to experience it when
available.
they came out.
Oh yeah, no, that's what you meant.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think that's gonna be really fun for that generation of viewers. For
absolutely.
people to see their Batman back, you know. I mean, hell, we were little kids when we saw our Toby Maguire and Andrew Garfield during
Young,
Far From Home. So
young
to see them
lads.
back and be happy about it, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it. I actually am excited for it. I just feel kind of torn because of the whole Ezra Miller thing.
Yeah.
It's just weird, but as we've stated before, with different topics as well, we got to separate the art from the artist, and in the long run, we're mostly watching this movie for Michael Keaton. But uh,
Yeah. I mean, I think another thing too. I'm excited for Ben Affleck also to be back. Um, it's just like for him to be able to, get one last crack at it, and how excited he is to do it again. As
I
Batman.
hope we see enough scenes from him, and then I hope we see an interaction between the two of them, unless that breaks the whole.
I'm sure we will. I'm sure we
That'd be
will.
super fun. Oh, I don't know. I like to see it compare and contrast and be like, there's another version of us that's much cooler. His name is Robert Pattinson.
Oh dang! Shots fired.
Dang.
I know.
I'm just
Dang.
kidding.
No, yeah, no. But I completely get what you mean. Again, it's really hard to like. I don't want to say it's really hard to be excited for this, but it kinda is.
Yeah, I mean, I again, it's just art from the artist, right? It's just I'm excited to see it. Not only is this whole Ezra Miller thing like a sore thumb thing, but it's like there's so much work involved. The other actors, the producers, the directors, the people behind the stage, people that literally created these set pieces for it, the costume design, which looks fantastic, by the way.
Yeah.
Really excited about that. Um, Sorry if you hear that in the background. That is my cat.
No, I didn't hear anything. I think when I say it's hard to be excited is because, like, one, we know it's resetting the DCEU, and how are we going to be able to grow attachment to these characters if we don't even know if they're moving on to the next project? So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Um, but yeah. Any other thoughts you wanna take it from the with before we move on?
No, no, no. I think we gotta go a little fast and furious right
Yeah,
now.
break it down for us. This
Oh my
this
God, you
this
guys.
article.
So I honestly didn't know this was happening until Adam sent me the topics. So I did my little Googling, and Esquire did a really fun piece on the future of Fast and the Furious Part 11, apparently. And it's written by Josh Rosenberg, who I think had a really, really, really fun time writing this because the entire piece is really funny. It's titled Fast 11, Everything We Know. Subtitle, Finally Fast, Finally Furious. Anyone? Question mark. It was published 6 days ago, and it just breaks down the new trailer for the upcoming movie Fast 10. But who is basically what we're talking about is the writers for Fast 11. And he states Louis Leterrier, known for creating the Transporter franchise with Jason Statham, will helm both Fast X and the eventual Fast and the Furious 11. Lederer took over Fast Nine director Justin Lin left when after Fast Nine director Justin Lin left the project in April in 2022 due to creative differences. Lin arguably saved the franchise and the movies at large with Fast Nine, the Fast Saga, when it opened in theaters just after the cases for COVID-19 um, declined countrywide. Lederer is also known for the magical heist film Now You See Me in Netflix Lupin series. So he goes on and starts about, so that's who will be writing Fast 11. And he kind of just gonna goes on and about like, what will Fast 11 be named? And he states, though we've tentatively been calling the final film either Fast 11 or Fast and the Furious 11, the reality is that there's no way it will have either title. The Fast and the Furious franchise has never kept the naming convention through its releases, going from the original The Fast and the Furious to Too Fast, Too Furious, The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious, Fast 5, Fast and Furious 6, Furious 7, The Fate of the Furious, Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw, F9, The Fast Saga, and most recently, Fast X. Since we pretty much run through every option for numbers, and my guess is that 11 won't be in the title after all, we've already tried using the number Fast and Furious 6, spelling it out Fast 5, and switching to the Roman numerals Fast X. Others like F9, The Fast Saga, are truly inspired. Many fans were also disappointed that the 10th film was not called Fasten Your Seatbelts, but but the Fast team was reportedly not into the joke. Here are some suggestions I came up with below. Vin Diesel, please feel free to use any of these. The first one is Fast and Furious Last Ride. The second one is Fast Finale. The third one, and my favorite, Finally Fast, Finally Furious. Fast and Furious, the 11th, the end of the road of Fast Goodbye, the Furious and the Fast, Fast slash Furious,
This
the
is my
Fast
favorite.
finished, First and Furious, Furious to the end, Fast and Family. Fast X premieres in theaters on May 19th, 2023. No release date has begun set for Fast 11. Adam, I have a question for you.
Go right ahead.
What would your title be, and which one of these titles you hope to see on the big screen?
What would my Fast 11 be? Oh gosh,
They could potentially it's really funny that he really addresses that because I feel like I saw a video about the Fast and Furious how they also like came to light is like they never kept the name, they never kept it concise, like they just always changed it up.
hmm
Um, so each installment it feels like very, very different.
Yeah,
Um, I my personal favorite of that list was Finally Fast, Finally Furious.
yeah.
I think that one is the one that sold me. I hope to see it. I don't know exactly what they're gonna call it. They might even go Fast X1.
Yeah,
Who
maybe.
knows? At this point, just I don't know. But it goes on to say, Lederer was saying about Fast 11 that this one is big, as if the previous installments in the series were small. I don't want to oversell it, but we're
Oh
planning on the next one
gosh.
is as being just gigantic in terms of action, scope, and emotion. You will feel all the feels, tears will roll. I hope that means that they finally kill off Vin Diesel.
No, no,
I'm just
no.
kidding.
I don't think you can do that.
They're not gonna
Um,
kill Vin Diesel.
I do like the Fast finished. Uh,
The
just because it's
fast.
finally over. It's fine. I don't want to say finally over, but it's overstayed its welcome like three, four, fifth. They should have cut their ties at the seventh when Paul Walker passed
I think it
tragically.
should have ended with Paul Walker myself. Like I think that could have
Like right there.
avoided.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that would have been fine. However, would they could have like they could have given us a break and then they really could have like piled a bunch of movies together that were concise and like not over dramatic. But because it's money and people will go see these movies, will pay to go see these movies, they're just going to keep on making them because money talks and stories don't, if that makes sense with the whole big
Absolutely.
one.
I think in the sense it's the only thing I will say is that they have completely thrown out the logic in these films and they're aware of that. And I think that's why people continue to see them is because they realize how ridiculous it's gotten, but they're still going to keep going and I think that's why
Yeah.
we go see them because of the fact it's like okay, they know it's a joke. Now here's what they're gonna give us. We're still gonna see it because like even in what was it, Fate of the Furious, where they go and they Fate of the Furious is the one with the nuclear submarine,
I'm gonna be
and
honest, I don't even know which one. I think I checked out by like the Fast and Furious 6. I
I
think. I
and
don't
that's
know. I
fair.
remember seeing them. I mean, I did see them, I think.
hmm
I don't know. I think it's after Letty dies when I stopped watching her. I don't
That was the
know.
fourth one.
And then when she comes back,
That was the fifth one. The end of the
Jesus.
fifth one, so that'd be technically the sixth. But point is, with the Fast and the Furious films, they've never taken themselves serious once they really thrown out the logic. Five was a good like, okay, I can see them doing this. Six, it continued to get bigger. Seven, bigger. Eight, bigger. Nine, bigger. It got to the point where it's just. I remember after the Fate of the Furious, somebody said, "Oh yeah, Fast Nine is gonna be even bigger than the Fate of the Furious." And there was a tweet that went viral saying like, "What are they gonna do? Stop Thanos?"
Yeah.
And like that, and that's literally been the meme of it. And I think that's why. And again, I think that's why we keep going back to see it is because it's not that we're taking these films serious anymore. It's the fact that they are just essentially, I don't want to say a laughing stock because we're still gonna go see it, we're still gonna enjoy it, but it's complete fiction now. I don't believe that I can.
You know what it's starting to feel like? Like a parody to Avengers.
Yeah, because I mean, originally they had crossovers planned for these films, one with GI Joe and one with Transformers. Um, when
Which,
then okay, so in comic books, Transformers comic books, so does GI Joe. They have, I believe, Fast and Furious has shown up in their comics. And correct me if I'm wrong. That's completely fine. Or call me out if I'm wrong. That's also completely fine. But I know GI Joe and Transformers have cross worlds in comic book, and so I believe the idea was for Fast to also get involved in that. Um, but again, um,
yeah,
I
the
think
G.I. Joe and the Transformers have crossed over together.
I know that for a fact, and I want to say there is a possibility that the Fast family has crossed over in comics. I'm not 100% sure on that, but point is they're coming to the end, and I think I hate to say it is long overdue. However, I do want them to write this story off and like they can finally know they're at rest. It's weird because now Vin Diesel has a brother who's John Cena. The Rock has come and gone in this franchise. Letty's died and come back. Gal Gadot has come back. He died and come back. Han has died and come back. Nobody stays dead in this franchise anymore. Um,
Yeah, it's like why kill off these characters and bring them back? It doesn't make sense. It's I mean, I whatever. I
That's the
honestly
meme of it, though. I feel that's the fun of it, not being able to take it serious.
like
That's
we're
just
so
how I
cool.
kind of
We don't
see it.
ever die.
Exactly. We don't need health. We got family, you know?
Yeah.
But I think at some point you do need to address the Paul Walker not being there. There are rumors that he is going to be in this one and the finale, which I do hope is true. His brother Cody Walker has stepped in before and shot some of the things, and I believe Ryan Reynolds also stood in and shot some scenes as is for Paul Walker's scenes. So it makes sense. He was in Hobbs and Shaw, so if it's just like so. I do think you need to bring Brian back in some capacity, whether it's through CGI or whether it's his brother playing him. I think it'd be one. He needs to be there. We know he's alive and well in the franchise. We just haven't seen him since the seventh one. It's two films. How much longer can you go without not showing him? And he shows up at the end of the last one. Where his car, we see him pull up in the blue Skyline, which is his car from the second one. So this is kind
I
of
love that blue skyline.
the
That
blue.
skyline was dope.
Yeah, the skyline's very very nice. I mean, the point is, I'm gonna still see this film.
Yeah.
You know,
Will we review it? I'm not sure, but
I mean,
we'll
I
probably
will.
talk
I
about
will. I'll do a review on it.
it.
Um,
um, in other news relating to Little Miss, but actually, in other news relating the Force.
Yeah, so Star Wars, more Star Wars news. Carrie Fisher is finally getting her long overdue Hollywood star, and she's getting it on Thursday, May 4th, which is super awesome. That she is finally being honored for that. It's just like, what better way to do it than to receive it on May the 4th be with you. Miguel and I are going to be obviously hanging out May 4th to see Guardians of the Galaxy that night. But when you look at the career, Carrie Fisher's had, it's long overdue. Obviously, with Star Wars, she did Hook. She had the cameo in Scream 3. She said she was also when Harry Met Sally. It's just like it's good to finally see her get a Hollywood star.
Yeah, Mark Hamill actually tweeted saying that it was long overdue. And actually, funny enough, not funny enough, but her star will be I think a couple stars over from Mark Hamill's.
Okay.
Um,
I'm hoping that that they will have Mark Hamill and oh gosh, I can't think of his name. Harrison Ford there
Harrison
present.
Ford's. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was hoping that they would do like a restar where they would just have the three of them together, like they did with with like the cast of Deathly Hallows,
Hmm.
like Harry, Ron, and Hermione. You know how they had their star together on the Hollywood
Yeah.
Walk of Fame, but they had them all together.
Yeah, that'd be
Um,
cool.
I like to see that. I know in honor of Carrie, her daughter will be
Oh yeah,
held in.
absolutely.
Holding
Absolutely.
the star is set to be announced or bet to be revealed at 11:30 in the morning on May 4th or 10:30 in the morning. One of those. If you happen to be catching yourself in that area, go check it out. I feel like it's free for the public. But I can only assume that it's going to be packed. So go early or hang out
Yeah,
and
so
catch a Star Wars film while you're at it. I'm pretty sure they play a lot of reruns nearby at your
yeah, it's
local theater.
gonna
Wait,
be
isn't
awesome.
Return of the Empire? I mean, Return of the Jedi coming back soon?
This Friday. So Return of the Jedi is in theaters for its 40th anniversary. Um, Also, for those wondering where her star is going to be, it's going to be near the Al Capitan Theater, which is the exact address is going to be near 6840 Hollywood Boulevard. Um,
Nice.
so and uh, it's also going to be the 2007 754th star in
Yeah. Isn't that
the Hollywood
crazy?
Walk of Fame.
I never really thought about counting how many stars there are in there. I just walk over them. But I
Yeah,
remember it's super surreal. I remember my first experience on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and I was just like, "Oh, this is Hollywood Boulevard. This is crazy." And like just being there and like seeing it in person, you're just like really mesmerized by all the stars, and you're just kind of walking over them. And then like you come upon a really good one, or you come upon a really nice one, and or an artist, or a television host, or a radio star, or a Hollywood actor, and you're like, wow, this is credible. This is like,
there's so many people who have a star, anywhere from,
yeah,
Johnny Cash, Vince Scully, who is the famous Dodgers announcer. So many people you don't know. Shows have, I believe, Hollywood stars as well. So it's amazing. It's amazing how big it is, but how also exclusive it is.
yeah,
So it's just like it's super awesome. I'm so glad Carrie's getting one. Just again, awesome history for her. And it's just like, and obviously we miss her presence in Star Wars films and overall just, and even not having her at the Star Wars celebrations. It's just like you do miss that. That the presence of the princess.
definitely, definitely.
But what do you got for
Um,
us left, Miguel?
Ooh, we have like two more topics. One, my review for Evil Dead Rise. Since I did see it twice, I'd like to talk about it a little more. I really, really enjoyed this movie. I I was really freaked out watching it the first time, and I was even more scared the second time. I saw it the first night, opening night. Had really good reactions from the whole theater. People found this funny. The thing about Evil Dead is that in a sense it's almost comical,
Yeah.
but it's also very, very aggressively scary and disturbing. There are some scenes that will creep you out, that will make you really like you know like will make your skin crawl, and you'll have to look away. You might even be holding yourself in a pose for so long, might even having yourself like hold on to your breath and remembering to breathe. But the movie is incredible. um just the synopsis of it, it's basically a twisted tale of two estranged sisters whose reunion is cut short by the rise of flesh possessing demons, thrusting them into a primal battle for survival as they face the most nightmarish version of family imaginable. The film is written and directed by Lee Cronin. I believe this might be his first actual, not his first debut as a movie um the director. His debut was The Hole in the Ground. That actually did very good too. It got a 63 Metascore rating, as well as Evil Dead Rise. It sits on a 63 Metascore rating. But this is his second film that he's directed in the big screen, and my God, did he do a fantastic job with this, because every scene is very, 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 very good. Um, he There was a problem with it. With At first I thought it was because of where I was sitting the first time, but then I feel like the movie's a little dark.
Mm-hmm.
Not dark in terms of like tone, but I mean dark in
Lighting
terms
wise.
of like cinematography.
Okay.
Because in the trailer, the lighting in it looks the for the scenes in the trailer, the lighting is, it's like, I guess, I mean the color scheme is lighter, But when you
Mm-hmm.
see it in the theater, it's a little darker. And I'm not too sure whether it was my theater that was responsible for that, but it is a little different. And maybe the atmosphere is darkened a little bit just to get more like frightening, more of
Definitely a
that view. But
possibility.
it pays tribute to the original. It has scenes that it's supposed to have. It has a chainsaw, it has gore. It's not as bloody or gruesome as the 2013 remake.
Mm-hmm.
It is um it is just equally as unnerving as that though. And I really did enjoy it. Everything from the performances. It introduces a new actress named Nell Fisher who plays Cassie, and I think she did a fantastic job. She's the youngest of the cast. Um, I always wondered how that was played out when it comes to movies, when it comes to horror movies and little kids. Like, I heard and read that they make obviously every scene as comfortable as possible for a child actress or actor so that way they don't feel as scared or unnerved. um but I'm just super curious about the behind the scenes because she definitely endured a lot of frightening scenes in this. My huge standout was Alyssa Sutherland, who plays Ellie, who is the one who gets possessed in the movie and is the mom. She is fantastic. She is super creepy. You can just tell she was having such a fun time with this role. Uh, Everything from the prosthetic makeup to the blood to just like her nails was incredible. And the finale of this really does give you a either prequel territory or sequel territory because it does leave, and it starts in um with a group of people in a cabin, but it's a day prior to the events of what the movie unfolds. The setting in general plays in a apartment that used to be a bank.
Mm-hmm.
And so Alyssa Sutherland's kids, Ellie is the mom's name. Their kids, Cassie, Bridget, and Danny are her children, and they uncover one of the books while an earthquake happens to break through the parking garage and create a hole into what used to be an old bank vault, and that's when they find the Book of the Dead. And it's one of three volumes, apparently, or I think one of three. Um, so I'm either guessing that this will continue as a prequel or sequel because it does leave the movie as an open-ended story. I've yet to confirm if there is will be a sequel, but for those who do love horror, who like to get scared, go check it out because it is a good time. And if you're a little hesitant on it, just wait until the release and you can watch it at home. Because regardless, it's still a pretty good watch. You're gonna enjoy it for sure. But those were my official thoughts on this. I saw it the first time with a friend of mine, and then the second time I saw it with Brian and my roommate Anthony, and they enjoyed it. They loved everything. There's a couple little tropes for The Shining in there that I did love. The elevator full of blood. There's a couple things that like point to Hereditary that get influence on there as well. It's just such a good time. It's a bloody good time, and it wraps up the story as it's supposed to be. It doesn't prolong it whatsoever. From beginning to end, it's a roller coaster ride, and immediately you get sucked into this world. And I personally think that I would have never survived this movie if I was in that world. I don't think I would survive whatsoever. I think I'd die. I think that would be I wouldn't even be a final girl. I'd be dead probably within the first a couple minutes. So this is one of the horror movie franchise I would not want to be in. That's for sure. But that concludes my thoughts on it. Please go check it out. It's a really fun movie. Go on a date, get intimate, or just go out with friends and scare each other for a good time. It's really good. I definitely recommend it for you guys. So check it out.
Go on a date to see Evil Dead.
Yeah, you make a really good impression,
Wow. I'm
and
gonna write that down.
you know it.
But you got one last topic for us.
Yeah, CinemaCon. So CinemaCon is something that has been started on April 17th to the 20. No, wait a minute. Let me double check that. It's actually, yeah, April 24th to the 27th. This is from the CinemaCon page. Excuse me. Um, So, since taking its first step in 2011, CinemaCon has evolved and grown to become the largest and most important gathering for the worldwide motion picture industry. CinemaCon is truly a global event attracting attendees from more than 80 countries. On behalf of CinemaCon, the official convention of the National Association of Theater Owners, NATO, we extend our sincerest appreciation and gratitude to the entire motion picture theater industry for helping to make the past 11 years so successful. And now, as far as we gear up for our 11th show, the excitement continues when CinemaCon returns to Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas from April 24th to April 27th, 2023, for what is sure to be our biggest convention to date. From exclusive Hollywood product presentations debuting a slate of upcoming films, to must see premiere feature screenings, to the biggest stars and producers and directors, CinemaCon will jumpstart the excitement and buzz that surrounds the holiday season and beyond at the box office. The CinemaCon schedule will be broad, diverse, and educational and fun, and will feature the largest cinema trade show in the world. It will appeal to and attract all facets of the international motion picture theater industry: exhibition, distribution, marketing, publicity, and advertising, internet and social media, and of course, the theater equipment and concessions manufacturers and dealers who will showcase the latest technological advances and innovative concessions offering at the trade show, which is run in association with our partners at ICTA and NAC. As well, CinemaCon will once again incorporate a special day of programming geared just for international marketplace that begins Monday, 24th, 2023. It's just basically a huge convention for films. And honestly, so far that has been happening on there. There's been a lot of buzz regarding Walt Disney. From what I read recently, Melissa McCarthy joined the CinemaCon stage and left the audience spellbound after debuting her entire performance of Poor Unfortunate Souls from The Little Mermaid. Harrison Ford appeared on screen with a special video message introducing a sneak peek of the highly anticipated Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. And Disney revealed more stuff as well. First, we have a couple more things. I think Vin Diesel reveals there will be a part two of Fast X in 2025. Everyone's gonna hate when I tell you this, but I gotta tell you, this is summer is only the beginning of Fast X. So there's another thing to look forward to.
Okay.
There's more talk about Barbie the movie, Wonka, Doom Part 2, The Color Purple, The Nun 2, and Blue Beetle. And it just keeps on going. So it really, really is something that our Real Addiction has to join. Um, we also heard from Bad Boys 4, and it'll start Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. And then we also have more about the cast about Ghostbusters and Aaron Taylor Johnson as he premiered never before seen footage from Craven the Hunter, which is something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah,
Uh,
there was an actual trailer that was shown,
yeah.
and the ending showed Rhino.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah,
Like the Andrew Garfield right now?
no, it showed a new Rhino that was injecting himself with the chemical that turns him into Rhino, or the serum, I
Oh,
should say. And so that's
yeah.
pretty exciting. A lot of people said the trailer looked good and that he had a pretty comic accurate suit. You say like, yeah, we need to get onto CinemaCon. We definitely do. That'd be a very fun thing to go to and to cover. But a lot of news has come out. Like I said, people saw the Flash film. People saw some Indiana Jones. He also said this is the last time he's playing the role. He confirmed it there that this is the last time he sees himself putting on the the hat and holding the whip.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so much news that's going to be coming out too in these next couple days, which is going to be pretty interesting to see what there is. I don't know. I doubt Marvel has any presence. Excuse me. I don't know. I doubt Marvel has any presence there, considering they save a lot of their stuff for
Like,
D23 and Comic
yeah.
Con. But I mean, hey, who knows? Especially they probably don't need to be there. Well, I mean, in my opinion, they don't need to be there based on it's just like people are gonna see films themselves. I know Disney's there, because they gave looks at like the Little Mermaid. a better look at like the other sisters, and I think you mentioned that. Um, but I mean overall, I mean CinemaCon seems very very fun to go to. A lot of people there.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, I can only imagine the I just want to go for the environment. It'd be really great to really connect with other people there. People who either have different like their own podcasts or people who have been working in the, in the movie industry for so long, or people that have like who run these shows, who are part of this community. I'd love to really connect and even get probably an opportunity in terms of just either talking to them or networking. That would really benefit us. I guess somehow we will find our way into that in the upcoming years, hopefully soon, fingers
Maybe
crossed.
next
But
year.
it'd be
Who
really, really great to
knows?
do this,
Yeah.
to be part of that. So, yeah, keep an eye out for upcoming trailers. Clearly, if this were shown at CinemaCon, it will be shortly released either in the summer or with upcoming movie projects. But you've heard it here first, folks.
Mhm. All right. You ready to end this episode? You ready to get out of here?
Yeah, sign us off, Adam.
All right, everybody. As always, thank you for listening. This is gonna conclude episode 112 of Our Real Addiction, the unseasoned episode. Um,
Yeah, the intervention season. No,
the filler episode.
the mid
Uh,
season, the finale, the post credits.
this is the epilogue of season 2. But yeah, season 3 kicks off next week. New intro. Uh, Obviously new. I mean, we've showed you the new logo. We're already using it. But a lot of exciting stuff. We got movie news Monday coming in June. We're figuring out when TV Inquiry is going to be coming out as well. But yeah, a lot of fun and exciting things. A lot, again, more content more frequently is really the grind set of season 3, and getting you guys also more involved, and just looking to really overall just grow the brand of Our Real Addiction. And it's just like just continue to put out movie reviews, continue to put out just more content. But I think that's going to do it. As always, I'm Adam.
And then again,
This is Our Real Addiction, Sick Parvis Magna.
Sic Parvis Magna.